up, guys? It's been a minute. Man, it's been so hard to track down this guy and me at the same time, and growing pains. Business has been good, so working on a new studio at the Trifecta headquarters. We're going to have a studio here at the gym. This is the beautiful Ultimate Fitness, world-renowned fitness center, home of Team Alpha Male, and we're here to bring the Calicast up to date. A lot of stuff been going on, man.
Crazy times the last few months here. Yeah. This is the most makeshift studio I think we've ever had for the Calicast. But,
yeah, I like it in here though.
Yeah, we're making it happen. You guys can't tell on camera, but it's like 100 degrees in here right now.
Which is good for me because I'm cutting weight, and it's bad for Greg because he's got hair gel, and we might see it sliding down his face at any moment.
Yeah, my hair's gonna melt. It's not as voluptuous as Uriah's.
So it's crazy because Greg and I do catch up on a regular basis, but it's either at an EO meeting or our retreat. We had an awesome retreat out to San Diego with a bunch of like-minded guys where we learn and hang out and have fun. But we got to talk about the current events. A lot's happened, man. Tons happened.
Yeah, it's been a crazy day even, let alone crazy week and month.
Yeah.
So,
today, I mean, honestly, today we're trying to find the right time to do this thing, and I had TMZ, the UFC at my house doing a interview about the fight coming up. Then we had Jim Rome to talk about the fight. TMZ was about Justin Bieber, Tom Cruise challenge, which is kind of nuts.
You think that's ever actually going to happen? It'd be a hell of a fight.
I'll tell you what. We've been working on something with Roy Jones Jr. and his people. They're doing a fight, Supreme Patty fight, who's a influencer.
I know Supreme Patty.
Squeezes stuff in his eyes, and he's doing a boxing match. And I know Connor came out and said he would promote if Cruz has the guts to step up to Bieber, which, I mean, I don't know how much guts you need in order to do that. He said he would promote. Bieber had tagged Dana White in the post saying, Dana White, who's going to put it on? No response from Cruz yet.
Yeah. I mean, well, is he like an active tweeter, though? Does he regularly on Twitter?
I have no idea. I mean, I have no clue. And I know that Bieber has been a big fan of the UFC. I remember in 2011 him being cage side when Dominick Cruz and I fought, and looking down and being like, "Is that Bieber?" Like during the fight, with him like sitting cage side. So he's been around the fight game for a long time. He's also walked out with Floyd and trained with Floyd, and he's had some little tiffs with the paparazzi here and there. So he's got a little scrap in him.
Yep.
However, Cruz, 56, Bieber's 25, age difference. Cruz is a wrestler though.
Yeah, and he's still, for 56, he's looking good. He's still thick. He's still doing Mission Impossible movies. I saw that the picture in the tweet that Bieber put out, and just from looking at the two of them side by side, I'd be nervous for Bieber getting socked up in that fight, tackled. But
so when guys at that level, they've got the mental part intact. I mean, you don't become one of the most successful actors of all times and one of the most talented, most successful performers of all times without believing in yourself, without believing anything's possible, etc. So they both have that champion mindset. Bieber's done a little bit more training, it sounds like, in boxing. I saw the boxing footage. Not that impressive, but who knows? Maybe he's got some real sting on those punches. And I've never seen any boxing from Cruz, but I do know he was a wrestler. Cruz wrestled growing up. I don't know how long or how in-depth his career was, but he definitely knows what he's doing on that front. So he could be a wrestler, older wrestler, striker matchup. I'd like to see it happen, though. I'd help promote it if we get Roy Jones Jr. and the crew. Get Bieber to help put it together. Get Notorious MMA. Get Dana White. Let's put that fight together.
Make an
Trifecta
exhibition.
Nutrition can feed them all.
Yep, make it an exhibition. Get them weight descent.
We'll get Biebs. I'm gonna get a hold of Bieber, and I'll get a hold of Cruz, and we'll try to see what kind of meals we can send out to him.
Nice.
In preparation for this battle.
Yeah, so if you wanted my opinion on it, if you see non-pro UFC fighters, it almost always goes to the ground, and whoever can win on the ground wins. And we all know Cruz is the wrestler, so I don't know. If it does come to fruition, I know who I'm betting on for sure, guaranteed. Put some serious money on Tom.
When you start thinking about, I mean, first off, I'm really, really curious what the meat and potatoes of a Bieber, for thinking first it's okay to call it a 56-year-old man, and then the reason why he chose him in particular when there's a lot of other people he could possibly call out. There's got to be something deeper, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it is in the celebrity call-outs, it's usually a celebrity calling out someone that they consider a bigger celebrity. And if you look at Bieber, he's near the top of the pyramid, 100 million followers on Instagram, super famous guy, but Tom Cruise is like,
he's been there.
He's been there. He's like the movie star of movie stars, and I think that's really the anger Bieber's trying to play is, get some major visibility because everybody would watch that fight.
I would watch
100%
it. But is Bieber really, I mean, there's got to be something more than that. I don't think Bieber's the type of guy that's trying to do a publicity stunt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think he really probably wants to fight, prove he's tough, and he figured, Cruz is an action hero and he plays tough guys and everything else. I don't think he considered the wrestling thing, though.
Yeah.
I don't think he took that in consideration. But, I always tend to think there's some sort of deep-seated thing, like maybe some conflict with the females involved in the world. Or, there's got to be something deeper that makes him pick a fight.
Yeah. I mean, maybe something emotional, like they dated the same woman or something at some point.
Which would be hilarious, 25 and 56. Cruz.
Very, very possible, though.
It's very possible.
Katie Holmes or somebody like that. That's kind of in between the two. You never know.
The speculation continues. Anyways, I got a bunch of calls to assess where that fight would go. And at the end of the day, you got to go with the wrestler on that front.
100%, yeah.
And as far as who's living a healthier lifestyle, to look as good as Cruz does at his age, he's got to take incredible shape. He's probably working out. I doubt he's partying. I doubt he's doing anything other than living a healthy lifestyle to maintain what he is. But, Bieb's got that X factor. He's a star.
Yeah, Cruz being in that good a shape at that age, though, brings up another question. We got the USADA guy sitting over in the corner here.
I'm sitting here babysitting my pee. This is a bag of pee. You can't see the numbers on it, but this is I was only able to pee half a bottle. I had a tough practice this morning, so we're ready to go as soon as this is over to fill this thing up.
Yeah, it's a special sample, but with that in mind, I don't know if Tom Cruise could pass the test.
I doubt he's claiming that he can. Doesn't mean they can't fight.
Yeah, that is true.
But anyways, back on to what we've been up to. The last time I think was Manager Matt that we had on.
Yes, which was a great one. Kind of an overview of influencers and social media and all the hot shit going on in the Instagram world. So yeah.
I want to catch up with you because being someone that has helped with Trifecta and has a general interest. We're right here out of Sacramento, and now especially the involvement with Trifecta in sports in general. Namely, the UFC being one of the primary sponsors and partners with the UFC. What's that landscape looking like with the UFC and Trifecta? We're seeing on Joe Rogan, we see guys all over dropping Trifecta. So how's that been and how cool is it?
Yeah, so at this point, July will be 1 year into the 5-year exclusive with the UFC. So, it was a 5-year, $9.6 million deal. So, definitely a major deal for us. And probably the most exciting thing to come of it, which was what was on Joe Rogan, twice, both with Kamaru Usman, winning, and then going and singing our praises, which, if you see this, Kamaru, you are the man.
You're the man, buddy.
Yeah, we appreciate you giving us multiple solid shout-outs. But then we also got the whole UFC Performance Institute team on there, which, for those of you that don't know, UFC headquarters has a $14 million Performance Institute built into it that is state-of-the-art athlete everything. I mean, they've got all this technology from DEXA scans to physical therapy there, and one of the things they do is they can now come in and completely take over your nutrition, which is something that we really wanted to do for the UFC. I mean, obviously, weight descent is key to getting ready for a fight, and now we're at a point where We're at capacity and hiring additional chefs to be able to run the program. So most fights, we're feeding 18 to 20 out of the 24 to 26 fighters on the card. So almost the entire card. Right. 75 to 80% of every card that's like a pay-per-view fight or an ESPN Plus, a major fight essentially in the UFC, we're running nutrition for it. So, Trifecta has really totally taken over the nutrition side of the UFC, and it's been amazing for the UFC as well. I mean, they've had, I think, 5 people miss, weight descent in the last year,
right,
compared to 50 the year before. So it's a fundamental game changer, and we're just thrilled to be involved.
Yeah, and it's been cool, man. I mean, especially being there from the humble beginnings of Trifecta and seeing the way things are progressing. It's like, and then UFC and mixed martial arts is close to my heart, obviously, and having another part in the success of other folks is pretty cool. And started out with Team Alpha MMA.
Yep.
Feeding the goons in here, and then transitioned to this MMA side. So at this point, we're set and ready to take over all of sports with Trifecta. And
the biggest, latest, and greatest one from that is 2 weeks ago we announced the PGA Tour. So that was a 12-year, or I'm sorry, a 6-year, roughly $12 million deal. So even longer deal than the UFC deal, and we're essentially going to do the same thing for the PGA Tour. And I kid you not, when the press releases hit Forbes for like the UFC deal and the PGA deal, every fucking sports team out there like emailed me. It's the Bulls, the Lakers, the Warriors, the Niners. We really are in a position to completely take over the NFL and the NBA. We just have to like do stuff in stages, which shit's exciting, man.
Yeah.
Exciting time.
And it's funny, the feeding off of energy. I talk about it in our team all the time. Before and after practice, bringing a positive attitude, thinking big, verbalizing things you want to do. That's one of the things from the get-go with Greg and one of the reasons why we're doing the show together is because Greg is somebody that from the get-go was like, here's a company, brand spanking new, but this is the vision, and the vision was massive. To see it all come to fruition is really cool.
Crazy.
It is crazy, dude.
It's been 3.5 years.
It is crazy.
I go to these meetings now, and I'm starting to feel like a big deal.
We're out
not
here
quite as a big deal as you, but making gains.
and then in our group of entrepreneurs that we're learning from and getting mentored by, we've got Tyler Smith, who's doing big things with Sky Slope, and Haney Biz. He's got his podcast and radio show. You're seeing him all over Sacramento, and Jeremy Perkins, and it's really cool to have
bunch of CEOs making power moves
and feeding off each other, and it's getting exciting, man. And I'm bringing that to the team. We've got this big fight coming up, July 13th. It's official now that I'm out of retirement, which
I know. You got to give us the backstory. I mean, I know I put a lot of bugs in your ear, to get back in the fight game, but I want to hear like what made you retire, and then what made you come fully out of it. I'm sure everybody else wants to know too.
As far as the retirement goes, it just felt like I was wearing a lot of hats, juggling a lot of things. There was things in my life that I wanted that I was not able to focus and put energy into. Not because I couldn't, just because priorities are hard when you have fight on hand. Family, business, real estate, entertainment. There's all these things that pull you in different directions, and I had a great year of competing, but fell a little bit short. Had a world championship fight with Dominick Cruz, lost the decision. Had a fight after that where I fought kind of lackluster. It was not an exciting fight for me. Then I had an opportunity to be here in our hometown at the new arena, which means so much to our city, and go out on a massive note and take time to relax, smell the roses, and look around at the lay of the land and see what's next, and focus on some other things. And I was able to do that. From getting Trifecta where it needs to be, to launching podcasts, and getting the gym where it needed to be, and the team, and starting a family, having my little baby girl Callie Rain, and amongst all that, never losing the edge and insight to be in the gym every day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because I have a passion for mentoring. I have a passion for this team that I've built and the gym business and everything that means. So for me, I stayed in the USADA pool just because I wanted the option to make things easy if I wanted to jump in, because I knew it'd be tempting and I knew I still have the skill set and there'd be opportunities that were thrown out there. A couple of times the UFC offered me fights,
yeah.
And I was like, if I had been a little bit more in the mindset, a 2 or 3 week fight wouldn't have bothered me. I would do that and get some cash out of it.
That's such short notice, though.
Yeah, it is short notice, so I didn't do it because I'm not a guy that likes to go in half cocked. So I started. The more they started offering me fights, the more I was like, I'm gonna get myself game ready. I'm gonna take some competitions in grappling. I did the quintet against Sakuraba, who's a legend, and I had done just finished with Nicky Ryan. That was a big Polaris matchup on UFC Fight Pass, and meanwhile got my weight down from being 164 pound dad bod, which I've earned with my baby, but getting back down to like 154, 156, and then getting back in the mix of things. So I'm here now. We're 5 weeks out. It's comeback fight. A lot of things have gone into this thing, and I'm pumped to be back. I'm pumped to be fighting in Sacramento, and I'm pumped to put on a show.
Nice. So yeah, give us the latest and greatest on Cali. I know you've done a lot of posts about her, but I've personally seen her. She's the cutest baby of all time. But,
it's funny because everyone has a bias towards their baby, and you're like, oh man, the baby's so cute, and doing this early and doing that early. She's the genius baby, and this and that and the other thing. But it's just been cool, man. I was definitely willing, and I love hard work, and I was like, all right, when I have a baby, I'm gonna be hands-on, no matter what. Get up early, carry her around, never put her down, all this stuff, and but it's just easy. It's like an easy thing to do. You're basically dealing with somebody that is half you, and you have complete control of how she's living her life. So it's been really fun and really easy to transition to dad life. It makes you want to come home and entertain and do good things. It makes you want to do well at work. It's a new kind of motivation, and definitely part of the reason why I'm coming out of retirement is to stack cash and the brand for.
Make sure you got the trust fund going.
Get the trust fund going. You make sure that she's educated and proud and has a college education in the bank and go from there. So it's been cool, man. And she's so cute.
How old is she now?
She is 12 weeks.
12 weeks, yeah. I was going to say 10 or 12, yeah.
Yeah, and Jazlyn's been the best mom. She's like fish and water with that. She's, breastfeeding is going well. She's like territorial about changing diapers, which is cool with me. She's like, I got it.
You're like, I'll bow out of that one.
Yeah, she's the best. So it's been an awesome family unit, and it's motivating. It makes you want to get out there and do well.
Nice. Yeah, I saw you post a few IG pictures of Jazlyn. She like bounced back from being pregnant in like 48 hours.
Luck of the draw, baby. I mean,
superior
honestly,
genetics.
I can't wait till Jazlyn's able to get a full workout regimen. She's full on mom, but literally 7 days after giving birth, she was like same size.
That's unbelievable.
And I guess there's a science that the breastfeeding shrinks the uterus and all this stuff, but also some good luck and some good genetics, and it's a trip. And people always ask, my girl's definitely like ambiguous when it comes to, well, what is she made of? She's Indian dots. Her grandfather, her mom's pure white European, and then African American.
Really?
So she's like a little bit of everything. And then I'm Dutch, Italian primarily, and then French Irish.
Nice.
So Callie is like literally a mix of everything, and she's got music in her family history, and she's got sports in her history, and all the Indian side are all doctors and dentists, and Jazlyn's biological father played professional football for 6 years in the Canadian leagues.
On all sides, yeah.
And my history, I've got music on my side from opera singers to composers to My grandfather was a organist as a living, played organ, was a teacher for a living, and my great grandfather. My great grandfather played the trumpet, was a singer in the big band era, and was had his own show on Broadway called Follow the Girls. That's Ford Leary. Nice. And so who knows, man? World's at Callie's fingertips. I'm excited to see what's going to happen for her.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully she'll be able to look at video footage and remember you fighting, since she's only 12 months or 12 weeks right now. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, with jumping back to UFC, give us the latest and greatest kind of lay of the land in the 135s, because I know there's been a lot of shakeups.
Yeah.
Obviously the TJ thing, him being out for I think multiple years, right?
Yeah, I think they came to a 2-year suspension, which is already almost half a year up.
Henry obviously coming up a weight class is big.
First off, the cheating thing, man. I've been fairly silent, other than when people ask me about it, but it's just not fair. When you're cheating, you're also lying. You're also stealing from the people that aren't cheating, that are working hard, that have natural gifts and everything else, and you're also putting people in danger. You're able to train more, recover more. You're able to not get fatigued, which is a big part of the champion mindset. What can people do when they're fatigued with the EPO and whatever else is being taken? And it can't be the first time. People don't just do a one-off thing. I mean, he finally got caught. Like Lance Armstrong got caught after years. He didn't even get caught, actually. He still had it so smooth. He got turned in, and it's just not fair. And being a political guy, I mean, like seeing how the politics works, it's like, come in and say your apologies, you sit out your 2 years, and then you're just allowed back to be a scoundrel in the division, and you convince people to stick with you or not. But at the end of the day, you're a cheat. You stole from Kody. You stole from whoever else you beat. It's not a realistic look at what your abilities are, because you've been cheating. Yeah. So that sucks. Would I fight the guy? I mean, I would. It would be, we'll have to wait and see. Of course, I'm going to do one fight at a time, but I'd be 41 and a half at the time he's allowed back.
He's even able to fight again.
He's even able to fight, and who knows how I'll be feeling at the time. And, we'll maybe have a couple other kids at that time, maybe at least one, which would be cool. So we'll see how I'm feeling. But, Henry Cejudo said that he would never fight TJ again. He wouldn't give him a chance at fighting again. I don't know how I feel about that. Would I not fight him, or want to fight the guy? I feel like a guy like that, me knowing TJ is such a competitive guy, and knowing that he used to complain about his natural gifts and what he didn't have, etc., when he was part of this team, I got to think he's going to try to find another way. Yeah. And I got to think he's been able to cover up other things. So it's kind of the same sentiment when it comes to what Henry said, but there's also a point where I'm just like, you know what? I'm not trying to protect anything, and I don't really care about that kind of stuff. I'm a competitor, and I like fights. Yeah. So Kody, for example, Kody is a guy that is coming off a little bit of a skid, has to regroup and realign things, but that's got to feel good for him too, knowing that.
Oh, for sure. That he lost to someone who was
cheating.
Two
of his losses, if his only losses in his whole career, or somebody that was cheating, and then he also lost to another guy that caught cheating, as Kody said in a Twitter post. But Cody's a 27-year-old guy who needs to refocus. He's got a lot of motivation. His eye line with his kid and his family and the whole world at his fingertips. So I'm excited for Kody too. And it was cool to see Henry. He called out Dominick, Cruz, Kody, and myself. And I think those are good call outs, and I'm game.
Yeah, you guys are definitely the kings of the the 135 going all the way back. So yeah, it's I can understand why you would target you guys. But yeah, going back to the TJ thing, like I can understand the long-term frustration there too, because it's something we've seen in other sports. Like, for example, USADA. I know we got the USADA guy in the room with us right now. USADA drug tests other sports, like the CrossFit Games, for example. And there are, I would never name names, but there's for sure people that have competed in the CrossFit Games that I know for sure, at some point in their life have juiced or done this or that or the other thing. And you can just you change like your frame. You just become like a different person when you do that type of stuff. It's not something that fades away after a couple years of being banned, type thing.
Right. I mean, especially like a HGH, that will make your bones thicker, make your jaw grow, make your stomach thick, your head bigger.
Yep.
Like, those are some permanent changes. And then testosterone, microdosing, whatever these guys are doing, EPO makes you like a superhuman where you can just go and go and go and just not get fatigued. Like in the fight game, that's not fair. And so it comes to a point where you're like, look, you're either okay with being a cheat and a liar and a thief, or you're not. TJ is. I mean, we already kind of knew that from our interactions over here.
Yeah.
I'm not. And I'm not, and I don't think Henry is. And it's good to see a guy like Henry that has, I mean, he represents the U.S. He represents the world as one of the best fighters on the planet. To see him having success is pretty awesome. And all the guys, like I want kids out there to know that you can do stuff without being a fucking cheat.
Oh, 100%.
You know?
And Henry's a great example. He was actually our kind of guinea pig for the UFC fight prep program. He was the first guy we fed when we were launching the program. And for him to be able to perform that well is just absolutely amazing, especially in multiple different weight classes. And even while TJ was cheating, he socked him up in like 27 seconds or whatever it was. So
yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
It's funny because think of some comparable things. I know there was a lawsuit. I don't know if it was a Russian man or a Chinese, I can't remember, but sued his significant other because he was duped. She had
she was feeding him.
She had fake teeth, fake eye color, fake hair, fake tits, fake ass, fake tan, and he ended up having a kid, and the kid came out with all the flaws. I think she had her ears adjusted and all these different things. It came out with all the flaws and he's like, what the hell? I signed up for this. The genetics say this. And, it was like an investment thing. So, that's why I see cheaters. They're not able to pass that on, and they're just, they're the fake. So live with that, money, boats, houses, you got all that, but where's your pride, buddy?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. So getting back into the game, I mean, where's your head at? I mean, I've seen you training behind the scenes the entire time over the last, year and a half, couple years here. So you feeling strong, getting ready to fight again? Yeah,
the biggest thing that I thought was going to be difficult was making that weight, and the weight came off. I mean, with the system we have now with Trifecta, RP, Renaissance Periodization, which is a team of scientists, doctors that are making things work for you. I have Purist Labs with aminos right after I work out, and occasionally I'll do a pre-workout if I need a little bump in energy. And then just understanding that I was doing it anyways. I'm in here pushing Kody, encouraging Kody to do a 50-minute grind match, and getting Song Yadong and Ping Lu, these guys from China, and pushing them mentally and physically and teaching techniques, and on top of doing business and being a family man. I basically live the same exact lifestyle I have, except for I don't have a payoff every 3.5 months, and I don't have to physically prepare myself for a battle, which has been really, really nice, I got to be honest. And it would be hard if I had stepped away completely and gone and just been doing just movies or doing like sitting in an office all day, but it helps to be in the environment quite a bit. And, I think it maybe pushed me to go a little bit faster because they decided to have a fight in Sacramento, and I already been like teeing up to Sean Shelby and Dana that I might want to come back on occasion. So I feel great. It's just a mindset switch. I've got a great team of coaches here that make things run smoothly with or without me in it, with Danny Castillo and Chris Holdsworth and Michael Malott and Joey Rodriguez and Slava Borshev and Dustin Akbari and Fabio Prado and Alex Munoz, and the list goes on. Coach Lee Kemp. This team and the setup we have is pretty awesome, and just being able to jump right in and take advantage of it has been really nice.
I know we got to go mobile in one of these Calicasts, give everybody kind of a breakdown of all the different stuff, because even watching the construction here over the last year, I know you guys put it was over $1 million into the TIs, right?
Yes.
And then even from that, it's turned into a fundamentally different
Yeah.
space. It feels like it's like almost finished at this point.
Yeah, this is
awesome.
Rob Deirdrick's a good buddy of mine, and I love his shows that he used to have in the Fantasy Factory. I basically built my own Fantasy Factory. We've got kombucha on tap right outside this door in the cafe. We've got Pulse Fitness with a $70,000 fish tank that we did untanked, and like a high energy Pulse class that's kind of fun for anyone. And then we've got rest and recovery, and we've got the octagon and the offices for massage and lounge area. We've got a refrigerator with Trifecta Food so people can just grab and go. And this is literally a place where I can hang out all day and go hide out. I can be in here. Someone doesn't even know I'm here. I can be in a different office. I can be outside in the outside area and just get business done, get fighting done, and be around a bunch of good people. So this is a unique spot, man. It's been fun building it.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Nice. Yeah, I feel that we're final stages of building the new Trifecta headquarters.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we finished the giant, 55,000 square foot kitchen down in LA, but we're building our new headquarters right here in downtown Sac, right next to the stadium. So
yeah, the
Trifecta
Towers.
Yeah.
Oh, man, so. right in the heart of Midtown, overlooking the arena. And that's Greg 101. Greg's like, man, at the beginning, dude, we're gonna have the fattest parties once we do this. We're gonna do this once we do this. We're gonna do that once we do this. We're gonna get a big building right in the downtown Sac, overlooking the stadium, and it's all coming to fruition. It's like that visualization and mindset, and we'll have a studio in the gym so we can catch anybody that's coming through here. We'll have the studio inside Trifecta headquarters, which will be awesome, so we can get those CrossFitters and the PGA guys and whoever's in town at the time and cover them. And then, of course, we want to do a bunch more programming. We got the touchy subjects with Touchy Feely and Sir Studboy that we're going to do programming, and hopefully Holdsworth and some of the guys will be doing BJJ stuff and whatever else we want to do on the Trifecta front. So big things happening, man. We're excited.
Huge amount of content coming out.
Yeah.
And I mean, one of the things on the content side, I was pushing Kody in the beginning to do No Love TV. So was stoked to see him get that up and running, and it's done well. I mean, he's racking in views and subscribers like crazy. So give us the latest and greatest on Kody. I mean, I see him at the parties and stuff sometimes. But.
So it's funny. There's an underlying thing with our team where, and it starts out, you're building a team and it's just a few guys. It was myself, Danny Castillo, TG Kuahini, like Dustin Akbari back in the day, Joseph Benavidez and Chad Mendez, and you start adding all these people. The more notoriety you get, the more you're in the visual space of the public. Mm-hmm. People are always looking for drama, and especially Kody coming off of 3 losses. We had recently another fighter has left the team of a team of 60 people where like people come and people go, etc. We've got a lot of great friends that have been part of the team that have gone out and everything else, and it's nice to have Kody here, stable-minded, grinding. There's been like people talking about, is he doing this? You're doing that, and this and that. Like at the end of the day, this team and this setup has been set up here since 2006, and Kody's resurgence has to do complete with him just making a switch and deciding he wants to do it, being healed up, being mentally and physically prepared, being able to go through a whole camp and then fight intelligently, and he's prepping and ready to do that. So Kody No Love TV, he's got the No Love Bullies, he's part of the Tyson Holistics out in LA that's doing really well, and he's an awesome father, spends a lot of time with his son, but at the heart of Kody Garbrandt is fight. That's what the guy loves to do. It's gotten him into some trouble at times, having that fiery personality and temper that sometimes makes him lose composure, but at the end of the day, he's one one of the best fighters on the planet and just has to make that switch. So we're excited to see him come back. I know Henry had shouted out Kody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's a smart deal calling out Kody, man.
I think that was a bad call for Henry too.
Yeah, he should have left. He just left the retired guys and the injured guys and leave Kody out of the mix, because don't give Kody that opportunity. He rises to the occasion. Stand-up wise, Kody, when he fights smart, I mean, there's no one that can touch him.
He's a killing machine.
And his wrestling is very, very understated. He's been improving on the jiu-jitsu. So excited to see him get back in the win column and back focused and doing his thing. So
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, every time I've hung out with him the last couple months, he seemed like super level-headed and on point. And I think having a family does kind of level you out and everything, which I think is fantastic. And getting on his business hustle. So yeah, stoked to see Kody on the come up. I keep coming back to this question, and I think it's all the interviews you're gonna be doing. Like, why come out of retirement? Is it just to pad Cali's fund? I mean, soundbite wise, what's the reason you're out?
Right.
What's the reason?
The reason for coming out of retirement is, first and foremost, the same reason why I started fighting in the first place, the same reason why I retired, the same reason why I can put headphones on and not listen to outside talk, is because I do what I want. And I felt like I wanted to scrap. I've been itching for combat. Some people have been pissing me off, and things get on your nerves, and the man with the microphone gets to tell the story. And at this point, I feel like it's something that is, the more I'm thinking about it, the more enticing it gets. The more I get involved in other competitions, the more it makes me think about fighting. And then when I test myself in here, I know where I stand, and I'm not skipping a beat. So for me, it's just because I want to, because I feel like it'll be fun. It's a good way to make some cash, of course. We're prize fighters, absolutely. But more than that, it's a life hack, dude. It's like, turned 40. My mom ran her first half marathon. She doesn't even run at 62 just to do it. I know people climb Mount Everest and do challenges, go kayaking down a crazy river or whatever. For me, I'm just going to do the stuff that I'm great at, that I love to do, and focus on it like I'm a champion. Because in my mind, I am a champion, and that's why I do things. So
nice.
That's it, just because I want.
Nice. Well, if you need a corner man, no, just kidding.
No, we're gonna. You're dealing with the heat pretty good in here, I gotta admit.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna be front row in that thing, since obviously it's in Sacramento, which is super exciting. So how does it work with the standing? Do you retain your standing after you retired, and you kind of come back into the same kind of as same level of fighter in the 135s? I mean, I obviously know a lot of the upper echelon people, but how does it happen when you're coming back from retirement?
So, I mean, I think it's different for everyone. The first conversations that I had about fighting were because I was heavier. Sean Shelby kept offering me fights at 145 pounds. And short notice fights, I don't like to do things half-cocked, half-prepped. And so it didn't turn out to work at that time. I don't know how the thing flushes out as far as rankings go. When I fought Dominick Cruz, I was number 1 contender. When I fought Jimmy Rivera, I was ranked number 2 in the world. That was all 2016, the year I retired. And then I think I was number 6 or number 7 in the world when I fought One Punch Pickett. And rankings don't matter. You see guys like Kody just lost to a guy ranked number 12. Rankings don't really matter. But they are fairly, a good gauge of where you stand. So I don't really care. I don't think I should be ranked at all because it's been 2.5 years. So the fights that they were throwing out for me were 2 fights at 145, which I said yes to both, but then they decided one wouldn't work and the other guy didn't want to do it. And then with that, I took a fight at 145 pounds in a grappling match with Kody Guardian in the UK. Got myself down in weight and said, all right, let's go. If I'm going to do this, let's go 135. And then people are saying, well, how come? Well, what's, who are you going to fight and what's the big fight? There are no big fights for me. And it's been like that my entire career. When you're the biggest name, it was Dominick, Cruz. We built kind of names together. First me, him being someone I fought, and then earned his own name after that. Then almost everyone else came out of this camp. TJ Dillashaw and Kody Guardian, and now I think guys like Song Yadong are going to be making a big splash and stuff like that. So for me, I'm like, yeah, give me some big names. And Shelby's like, there are no big names. This guy will take the fight. He's tough as hell. We think the world of him. And it's Ricky Simone. So Ricky Simone to me is what you want to see in a fighter. He doesn't get fatigued. He's strong mentally. He takes the sport very serious, and he is a guy that trains with a good team, but also you can tell really believes in himself, and I love that. It's not going to be because they're feeding me some guy that breaks. This is a guy that will be there in your face. I think Chael P. Sonnen.
Yeah, what was Chael's?
Yeah,
Chael's
Chael P.
take on it?
Sonnen. He's teammates with Ricky Simone.
Oh, got it.
And so he told Ariel Helwani that Ricky Simone's the best guy he's seen in practice, and that means a lot coming from Chael. Chael's a guy that
he's a vet for sure.
Chael's a guy that actually witnessed Pequeño or Big Nogueira feed a carrot to a bus because he said that Nogueira thought it was a donkey. And he was also the guy that thought that Brazil didn't have the internet yet, didn't even have computers yet. So it means a lot coming from Chael. That he's the best guy he's seen in practice. Chael, what else is Chael? Chael texted me one time after one of my big losses. It was either to Barao or Cruz, and he just texted me and said, "I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry that I can't relate, ... I've never lost." Which is great. Chael P. Sonnen, American gangster. So, no, he thinks the world of this kid and says it's the best kid he's seen in practice. Now, my question is against who?
Yeah.
I mean, is he going with Kody Guardian and Chad Mendez and Song Yadong and Andre Feely and Josh Emmett? And probably not. But for Chael, with his infinite wisdom and experience to be speaking the world of a guy, and we know when Chael says something, he means it. It's the truth.
Nice.
That's impressive. So I think I've got my hands full, and that's okay with me. I mean, there's no Dana White and the UFC is not into doing hand-me fights.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we don't want it to be someone you just come out and mop the floor with them in 20 seconds.
No, we gotta test the grit.
Yep.
That'll be realistic for me.
With that being said, the question that tons of people want to know: your hair is getting pretty banging at this point. So I
need to take a shower.
Is it long enough that the cornrows are going to make a comeback? Or
I think so, man. We gotta keep it. I might have to shave it or I'll do the cornrows. There's been a couple times in my career where having shaggy hair has worked against me, just because you're moving more. You get hit, it shakes your hair. When you're dealing with folks that a lot of times have never been hit, when they're doing, assessing the fight as a judge, every little bit counts. So I think the cornrows. You just mean the
movement of your hair.
The movement,
shaking.
Yeah. Yeah, like you're like, move out of the way of a hit, and it barely
profound.
hits, and your head shakes, and it's like, oh.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, keeping your hair out of your face is one thing. I mean, the cornrows are cool. Tupac, California Love will be blaring.
Yeah.
Cali will be watching at home. But I think the cornrows are a functional thing. So if the hair is long, I'll be hitting the cornrows.
So what does Jazlyn think? She wants the shaved head or the cornrows?
So it's funny because Jazlyn, for those that don't know Jazlyn, she's not like a fight fan or aficionado or anything. I remember we came back to Sacramento and we were walking around when she'd first moved back to Sacramento. We were walking around the Second Saturdays, which happens in Sacramento, where everybody is out partying and there's things and whatnot, and people kept stopping and taking pictures, and she goes, "Man, you're like a local celebrity." Then meanwhile we go to China and we go to Australia and we go to all these other places, and then she's like, "Oh, you're like
an actual celebrity.
You're like known around the world." So she's not like a big fight fan, and so she's just trusting me, and she's like, what does this person think? what does that person think? What does that person think? She's like, you better win. You know, I'm like, well, take it easy. I mean, I'm gonna be doing everything I can to win, and I should win.
Nice.
So, but she's happy to support me and know that I've got the family in mind, and you know, she's got the baby covered. She'll be there. The baby won't. Yeah.
Nice. Well, yeah, since we got poor USADA guy sweating his ass off in the corner, this is probably a good place for us to wrap it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any last thoughts you want to toss out there before we do?
Well, I think the biggest thing is it's good that we found a way to make our schedules work. We're going to have to start reeling these bad dogs out. I want to get Kody on here.
Yep.
I'd like to get some of the other guys on our team out here, and then we'll start filtering these up and giving you guys some good content and keeping you up to date. I like this, us doing it one-on-one on occasion, getting the lay of the land on things. This is a lot about business. It's about the fight game. It's about entertainment. It's about just having a good time. So, we'll touch more on those subjects in the future, but appreciate you guys listening. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and stay tuned for the next one. Calicast.
Thanks, guys.